The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Sultan, if you are still interested in my head, it's yours. I'm retired.
Cuya estética significó un parteaguas para el cine fantástico a finales de los 80.
I mean, I was intrigued after Munchausen, which was so big and so rife with problems and difficulties. And yet, at the end, it's a movie that I think is one of the best things I've done. But with Fisher King, it was a chance to say, all right, let's throw away all of those things that I'm fairly good at doing and concentrate on just these four people and tell that story.
For a dime you can see Kankakee or Perry or Washington crossing the Delaware. La 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 la.
In fact, David Mamet said that the iPhones, they fantasize for you. We used to fantasize more. You probably agree.
Not really, no. What the iPhone has done is saved what little memory I have. So my memory is in my iPhone, and when I lose my iPhone, I lose my memory. That's the problem of getting old. I've been lucky to be my age is balanced with the technology advance perfectly. So now that I'm getting old and dementia is creeping in and my memory is fading, I have my iPhone.
I met you 25 years ago in a conference in Mexico City. You were promoting 12 Monkeys. And when I saw you today backstage, you look exactly the same. How?
Illusion. It's all a matter of illusion. It's all superficial. Inside, there's a rotting core. It's barely alive, but the skin is still young and vibrant. That's all.
We were talking about imagination. In the documentary Lost in La Mancha, you say that Don Quixote encapsulates or captures all your obsessions. You say reality and fantasy, madness and sanity. Do you realize in that same documentary, do you realize, for one thing, you say in that documentary, which is about you trying to make Don Quixote in, what year was it?
2000.
In the year 2000. You were working on it for 9 years and obsessed with the novel, the Cervantes novel, for how long? When did you discover Quixote?
Well, I mean, like most people, you know about Quixote, and so it always intrigued me. Old madman fighting windmills, a man who he had a confused idea of what reality was or should be. And we finished Baron Munchausen, and I thought, okay, now it's time to make Quixote. And I called the executive producer on Munchausen, and I said, I've got two names for you. One is Quixote and the other is Gilliam, and I named $20 million. And he said, you got it, done. That was in '89. And then I read the book, and I realized I have a problem. This is an extraordinary work. It's huge. It took me weeks to get through it, and I didn't know where to begin. But we started the process, and we made a script, and we worked on. What's interesting about it, I had the money at the beginning, and then it took another 29 years to actually get enough money to make the film. And in fact, the money we made the film for was the $20 million that I originally asked for. But it was 29 years later, 20 million buys a lot less.
You made it, what year, 2015? The Man Who Killed Don Quixote? When did you finally?
No, 2016.
2016.
Yeah. So it's been out there for a while.
Okay, this is not on my script, but at the end of Lost in La Mancha, when everything that could be wrong goes wrong. The weather, the actors, the French actor who was to play Don Quixote is very ill. everything goes wrong. The film cannot be done, and you said that the insurance company had the rights to the script, and in the documentary, Sancho Panza is a publicist that suddenly appears in the world of Don Quixote, and Don Quixote thinks he is Sancho Panza, and his name is Toby. In the film, when you finally made it, which is, by the way, beautiful, the name of the guy is also Toby. So how different is that script you were going to make in 2000 from the one you finally did?
I mean, when we finally had written a script, the idea was a little bit like Mark Twain's Canadian Yankee in King Arthur's Court, where a modern man ends up getting hit in the head and wakes up in medieval England. And it was structured like that. And so the Toby character actually is dealing on an adventure with the real Don Quixote. Now, creating the 17th century is going to be more expensive than just staying in the modern world. So as the years passed and we worked on the script, I said, let's keep it all in the modern world. We can work with a lower budget. Because through all these years, it's always been the difficulty of raising sufficient money to make the movie. I've worked with many producers over the years who all are convinced they can raise whatever money is needed, and then you work with them for a year, 2 years, and they fail. So we crash down, just like Quixote in Cervantes' book. He starts off great dreams, boom, hits the ground, bam, again, bang, hits the ground. So that is what the experience has been. And it was only towards quite late that we came up with the idea of the character of Toby being, when he was younger, before he was corrupted in the commercials business, making a lot of money, becoming cynical, he made a film. It was kind of like a graduation film from film school called The Man Who Killed Don Quixote. He made it with people in a little village. And what interested me was how the film changed those people. And that became much more interesting. It also shifted the emphasis, because Cervantes' Quixote is about reading books and the danger, you could argue, of reading too many books of chivalry and romance and knights and all that, and you are corrupted by beginning to think the world can be like that, and that is what Quixote does. I thought it was more interesting to talk about how films can corrupt us, how it can give us a false view of what the world is, and we're all victims of that. I mean, I don't know how many of you believe you can fly, but many people seem to think that. But actually now in the modern world, we can't just fly. We need a lot of technological powers, superpowers. And I'm bored with superpowers. I'm more interested in what we as actual human beings can do with our lives.
Hell yeah.